Shaykh to send us something that is going to benefit us. Dunya and Akhirat. Knowledge that is going to benefit us, not knowledge that is not going to benefit us. Everyone is looking for ilm these days and knowledge. But how do you know that knowledge is going to benefit you? First, you have to know yourself, what you need. If we're talking about spiritual knowledge, first you have to know yourself. What are the things that you need? How are you going to know what you need? That sohbat, that knowledge, is like a medicine. It's going to cure you. It's going to relieve your sickness. It's going to make you to become healthy. Your heart will start beating again. When the heart is healthy, the whole body is healthy. How are you going to know whether you're healthy or you're not healthy? You have to go to a doctor. You by yourself, you may think you're healthy, but you're not. Maybe you are healthy, but you go on the internet so much, you're checking everything, and you start worrying yourself to death. Before you know it, you think that you have 100 diseases. Correct? How do you know whether you are healthy or you're not healthy? You go and you see a doctor. Simple. How do you know whether you are spiritually well or you are sick? There is a tabib al-qulub, the doctor of the heart. Who is the doctor of the heart? The Holy Prophet ﷺ and his inheritors. These are the doctors of the heart. So until you meet a Shaykh that is going to send to you what you need, you don't know what you need. Just as until you meet a doctor, you don't know what disease you have, you don't know what real medicine you need. But what is it, this knowledge? What is this knowledge that we are speaking about? What is the knowledge that is beneficial to us? Because the Holy Prophet ﷺ also made a prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, Ya Rabbi, save me from the knowledge that does not bring benefit to me. In these days of Ahir Zaman, they say everything is knowledge. No. Everything you read, it is knowledge. Who is saying that? Everything that you experience, it is knowledge. Who is saying that? How are you going to filter this and take what is for you? When there is so much confusion, that's when you don't know what is knowledge that is going to benefit you and knowledge that is going to harm you. Knowledge that is useless and knowledge that is useful. To know the useful knowledge for you, for your own spiritual progress, this is already a big marifat in these days. There's a big divine understanding in these days. Because people become more ignorant and arrogant with their own selves. They don't know who they are, they don't want to find out, or they already think that they are somewhere. So we are concentrating in this Ahir Zaman. There is a knowledge of the Ahir Zaman. You're not going to concentrate so much on the knowledge that happened 300 years ago, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Like so many people, they are concentrating on texts, those things, and they don't know how to make the bridge. Yes, it is good to study all those things, but if you are not making the connection to what is happening with you now, it is like the man who is sick, but he's reading all these medical books, but he doesn't know how to make the connection to his own spiritual sickness. He doesn't know how much to take. He doesn't know when to take the medicine. So the knowledge, this Ahir Zaman, knowledge that Shaykh Maulana has been concentrating all his life, and Shaykh Efendi has been concentrating all their lives, it is a knowledge of understanding what is batil. Because the Ahir Zaman, it is not a time when haq is ruling, it is when batil is ruling. Are we understanding what is batil? Batil is what? Falsehood. Are we understanding what falsehood is? At every level, are we understanding that? And if we understand what is it for us, how do we stand up for it? How do we think? How do we speak? How do we behave? How do we believe? How do we worship? What do we worship for? What are we raising our families for? What are we living for? And what are we dying for? So it is the knowledge of the Ahir Zaman, it is the knowledge of what is batil. So you don't take knowledge from 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You may take knowledge of 1,500 years ago, 1,400 years and some, because that was the age of what? Jahiliyyah. Ignorance. And this time, awliyaullah, they are saying this time, this is the second Jahiliyyah. This is the second age of ignorance. Now if you study that age of ignorance, that is not the age of Haqq. Prophet ﷺ brought the Haqq, but he came to fight against ignorance. What do you think Mahdi alayhi salam is going to come to fight against? If everything is so filled with love and tolerance, if everything is so filled with knowledge, and everything is so accepting, what Mahdi alayhi salam is going to come to fight against? Then what is Dajjal representing to you? So that first Jahiliyyah, Holy Prophet ﷺ, he came to fight against that ignorance. He has to teach them what is haqq and what is batil. Some they know, most they don't know. They're worshipping hundreds of idols. And the Prophet ﷺ came to say, La ilaha illallah. There is nothing, there is no Allah these days, of course. What we're talking about, Jahil scholars of 21st century, they dare to say, there are other gods, but the only one worthy of worship is Allah. Jesus, God, Buddha, God this, God that God, but only Allah is worthy of worship. The rest, they are not worthy of worship. They are gods, but they're not worthy of worship. This is the 21st century Jahil, poison, ignorance that they're spreading to people, and people are sitting and they're taking it. They're not understanding it. Or even if they understand, they don't care. Because what? They care about their dunya. They don't care about akhirat. They don't care about their aqidah. They don't care about their belief. So Prophet ﷺ came 1400 years ago to fight against ignorance. How are we fighting against ignorance? Are we fighting against our own ignorance? Oh, majority of the people, whether in tariqat, outside of tariqat, they say, what, me, ignorant? I'm not ignorant. Don't you know my station is this? Don't you know I'm able to do this? Don't you know I'm a high position? Don't you know I see lights? I have heavenly lights, this lights and that lights, never finishing. 20 years, still talking about lights. We're living in the time where there's complete darkness. What the heck are you talking about lights? Are you understand what is that darkness? Are you understanding that darkness and how to fight with that darkness? If you fight that darkness, you are the light, because the light is fighting against the darkness. Nothing else. This is what our Shaykh is teaching us. Keep our lights. Keep our faith. To know what is right and to know what is wrong. Whole world is saying you are backward. It doesn't matter. Whole world is saying this is not real Islam. It doesn't matter. Whole world is saying we are following a cult. It doesn't matter. Whole world is saying you are giving the Muslims a bad name. It doesn't matter. Our forehead is clear to Allah and to His Prophet and to everyone here what we are doing. We're not chasing after the dunya. We're not taking anyone's rights. We want to be left alone to worship. We're not making any trouble for anyone. We are fighting first against the ignorance, the jahil of our own selves first. And then when you're fighting to know that today I'm ignorant like this. I have knowledge of this, but I'm ignorant of that. Once you start understanding that, you'll be able to fight against the ignorance that is around you. And to say, there is ignorance over there, I cannot be there. You know, in the old days, even the awliyaullah, they're saying, even to look at the face of a stupid person, it is a sin. To look at a stupid person's face. I'm not saying stupid person that the person is failing from, high school, that kind of. No, it's not that kind of stupid. Or stupid person because he is not in the dunya and he's not successful in the dunya. No, it's not that kind of stupid person. Stupid, ignorant. You understand? ignorant and stubborn and arrogant of their Lord. To even look at their face, it is a sin. You understand how heavy this is? Yeah, you were talking about spirituality. Oh, how careful we have to be. No, brother, it's not like that. Who's saying it's not like that? You know, to be healthy these days, you have to watch everything physically, from what you eat, what you drink. You know how to be careful. You don't say you can eat whatever you want to eat. Everyone, they want gluten-free, they want organic, they want this, and they know how to keep this body healthy, to keep this body healthy. They say we cannot just eat anything or drink anything that we want. To keep this mind healthy, they say, we cannot listen to fake news. You have to listen to the good news, real news. Correct? To keep our emotions healthy, we cannot be with negative people, positive people. Subhanallah, now, to keep your spirit healthy, suddenly you can be in every kind of wrong situation, wrong idea, wrong people, and it's not going to affect you. Understand the delicacy of it. In the old days, they say, don't be with the ignorant people. Don't even look at them. Don't talk to them. Pull yourselves away, especially in this Ahir Zaman, because the ignorance is taken over everything. There is darkness over everything. There's no light. This is a time of darkness. There is a time of dukhan, the smoke that is covering everything. If we understand that, we're going to run to the people who have light. Then we're going to try to understand this knowledge. What is this knowledge that benefits me? I have to know what is right and I have to know what is wrong. I have to live according to that. I have to know what is haq and I have to know what is batil. I have to know what is the system we're living in, and I have to know what is the system I'm living in, how I'm conducting myself. You can know all these things, but you still cannot control yourself, cannot control your anger. When you're happy, whole world is paradise. When something is making you to be upset a little bit, you want to destroy everything. You get drunk. That time, everything you know is cancelled. Nothing can save you because you're not using it. When everything is good, you're going to give thanks to Allah. But when something is happening to you, you understand it to be bad, suddenly you're complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is not faith. This is not spirituality. This is not even human. Like what we said in the Sohbat yesterday, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he went to the Mi'raj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him, complained to him. There's a whole list. I'm giving only one. Check ourselves. I'm checking myself. We have to check ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, "O my beloved one, your nation, I never asked them for tomorrow's prayers today. But they are always asking me for tomorrow's sustenance, provisions, food today. They're always worrying about what is going to come to them, although I have assured them that I've given to them whatever that is theirs. No one can take whatever that is theirs, and I've created their provisions, their risk, their sustenance before I created them." Where is that trust that we have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Oh, that kind of trust that a man is not understanding and not checking himself, not understanding his own ignorance, that he can sit in front of awliya all his life, but nothing is going to touch him. That time he can sit in front of the Kaaba. Like it happened to Shaykh Efendi once when he went to the Hajj. He saw one of the murids looking at the Kaaba so intensely. And he's feeling, subhanallah, he's saying, so much rabita, so much faith this one is having. Let me ask him what he's thinking about. Maybe he's thinking about his Lord. Definitely he is. Because so much faith, so much intensity. And he asked, what are you thinking about? I'm just thinking, Shaykh, I have 3 children. I'm leaving them $1 million each, but that is not enough, because in 15 years' time, in 20 years' time, they're going to need more than that. How I'm going to make more money to leave them more? This is lesson for us. This is coming from what? Person not checking himself. Person not understanding his arrogance and his ignorance. Person sitting in front of the Shaykh or in front of the saint and just flying. Drunk. So you're not fixing yourself. It's like just being with the doctor and just being drunk. The doctor says, sit. I have to, oh no, I'm just so happy I found a doctor. Now you have to be treated. Yes, we understand you're happy, but now you have to be treated. And the way that the treatment is going to happen to you, it is, especially in this way, it is not going to be pleasant. If you want real treatment. So many they don't want. They're just happy to see a doctor. At least that's something, we say. But not in this Jamaat. That is not something. If you're still in that station just being drunk and you still have same problems, same things, same issues with yourself and with others, year in and year out, then you're not making any steps, any progress. But the believers, tomorrow has to be better than today. Today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow has to be better than today. Holy days and nights, they're coming. We need to check. Situations coming in the world that we're witness to, we need to check where we are. Take lesson. Or else you're going to be a lesson. May Allah not make us to be a lesson. May Allah close and cover all our wrong thoughts and intentions and actions, dunya and akhirat. May Allah not shame us. Inshallah, may Allah make us to understand and bring us out from this ignorance, from this heedlessness, from this ghaflat, for us to be more awake and aware, to be with Mahdi alayhi salam and not to be with Dajjal. For the sake of Sultan al-Awliya and SahibulSaif, Al-Fatiha.